Okay, we are sorry for it keep dropping out. I'm not sure what's happening. It never usually does this. Hopefully it has nothing to do with the update. It could just be my internet deciding not to work, so forgive me for that. Happens to the best of us sometimes, but I'll be doing my best to keep it up as much as possible. We've got Rodham now with the fastest lap of 1:15.9. Metz in second and Conrudi in third. Conrudi doing pretty well considering he did not race last weekend. He, I believe, is a reserve driver or was not available to race last week. So we are now watching Banana Cake Pie. He's just about finishing his lap. He's in that tough Sector 3 chicane. Coming around the final corner now. We've got yellow flags in all sectors. That's not going to hinder him at all. And he does not improve, just 7,000th of a second. Not improving. So Roscoe heading into the pits. We go to Black Moon now. He's in Sector 2. He's currently improving on his time, hitting those apexes very nicely indeed. Last right hander, seventh gear he's holding. I know some people do stay in sixth gear on that corner just for a little bit of safety while feathering the throttle. So most cars are out putting in their second flying lap. A couple still got to put their first in, as the Beast and Kickbutt Kiwi, who haven't put a lap in yet. Kickbutt Kiwi is still in the pit as Black Moon comes around the final corner to put in a new lap time. He's improved by 5/10. He's gone up to 7th place. He's 6/10 off pole at the moment. Rodham not too far ahead. Oh no, sorry, Conrudi has put in the fastest lap now. He's gone with a 1:15.8. As we go back to Banana Cake Pie, he's going in for another hot lap. He was improving, and he's improved by almost 3/10, so he's gone up to 5th now. He's got a Chronic Saint. He's in 10th place. He just improved the lap time there by 7/10. By the looks of it, he may be going again. Doesn't look to be easing. So we move on. And Sandals is on a hot lap. Not quite hitting that first apex, but it didn't look like it hindered him, and he's gone into the pits, so obviously something may have happened. Artie Cheng's now, Sector 2, heading down to Turn 5. Around second gear, easing on the throttle into third and up into fourth, heading down into one of the toughest sectors on the track, and he's lost the rear end a bit, but he's able to save it. He's going to lose a lot of time. I'm not sure if he's going to stick to the lap. He is in 18th at the moment though, so it may be worth at least getting the time in. Off the back straight now. Right there, another corner. They got to be easy on any spun. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to put in a lap time to move up from 18th position. So we're moving on now. Sir LJB's at second place in the first race. He's currently in Sector 2. It looks like he was improving on his time a little bit there. Chronic Saints has put in the fastest lap. We were with him before, thinking that he might have gone on another hot lap as he wasn't easing very much, and he is now on provisional pole with a 1:15.8. And that is very, very, very close at the top there, if you have a look. 2,000th of a second. That is insane. Metz has retired from the session. I'm unsure whether or not that was a crash, but he is finished in 7th place at the moment as Sir LJB comes around the final quarter. Not a horrible lap. Not quite going to be quick enough for first, but he's gone into 4th with a 1:15.999, so not bad at all. For the driver who is currently 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. At the moment we've got Chronic Saint in first, Conrudi, Rodham, followed by Sir LJB, G4, Server, The Beast and Banana Cake Pie. Of course, we've still got plenty of time left. We've got time for another lap from each driver, and I'm sure they will be making the most out of that time. You got any tips for these drivers, Allezar, about this track?
Oh, I can just tell you, I hate this track with a passion. It is a very, very tricky...
Especially on this year's game compared to the last. Those apexes, you don't want to touch them.
Oh, yeah.
You either go straight over them.
Especially that apex, going into second and then third. Especially that second corner going into there. If you touch that, you're spinning 100% off. As well as corners 7 and 8. That's a dangerous, tricky corner there up the left heel, turning onto the right. If you touch that apexes as well, you're off.
Yeah, we just watched Roscoe go into third place, a nice up there by him. The Stone Tower now in Sector 2. These apexes here, these are the ones where you're going to maximise a lot of time going up the hill. You really got to get in the middle of the car over the apex to maximise. And this is the corner I was talking about before. It's really, really easy to spin. And we got a tyre on the track there, maybe indicating that Metz did crash on the same corner. Potentially DNF. I apologise if I am wrong. It's very hard to stay on a driver when they crash in the moment. But we've got one there. We're looking at Iceman now in Sector 3. He's about to put in a lap time. He's currently sitting in 15th position with a 1:16.824. And it looks like he does improve by 1/10, but he's gone up into 15th, and that's all he's going to get right now. Grim Reaper, he might have had a spin. He's 11 seconds off his time, so we're going to move on from him for now. And Artie Changs, he's giving another go. He's still in 18th. He had a spin in Sector 3 before, if you do remember. Chronic Saints is still in P1 on provisional pole, when we've got 2 minutes 40 left in the session now. So, a few cars in the pits, a few in the outlaps, you'd think they'd be coming out in the next few seconds, wouldn't you?
Sorry, what was that?
You'd think they'd be coming out in the next few seconds, with 2 minutes 20 left. That's if they're willing to put in another time.
Look, it would be very difficult.
We've had another spin on that corner. Sorry for cutting you off, but we've had another spin. To move on to G4 server. What were you saying?
It is very tricky. If you go leaving it that late with 2 minutes 30 to go, and it takes a minute 15, to get around the laps, you still need to get off the, the tire warmers. You still need to get trains out. Depends who's coming in for their lap that they've finished. So it's going to be very tricky for those guys that's coming out late.
Yeah, we just watched G4 server put in a good lap and go 4th, and he might have been hindered a little bit there by McLaren. So that was a little bit interesting. I don't know how he's going to feel about that, whether it did affect him or not. But we're watching Kavudi. He's in 2nd now. He's putting in his last hot lap, trying to steal that pole from Chronic Saint. And he does. So far, he's on provisional. Chronic Saint's in the pit. I don't know if he's going to get out for another lap. So Kavudi with a 1:15.468. Beautiful. He's gone almost 4 tenths quicker than the second place driver in Chronic Saint. With 1 minute left, most drivers are putting in their final lap. Most of them should be on new soft tyres. Looks like here that the Beast may not be on new soft tyres. I could be wrong just looking at the tyre wear there. We've got Tent Sandals who has retired. That looks like a crash. There he is there. He's crashed on that corner again. That corner's now taken a lot of victims, forcing a couple of them into retirement. Look at all the cars here. Hopefully they're just getting out of the way. Not sure if they've just driven off the track or not. The Beast in Sector 3 now, going through the last few corners, trying to move up from 7th position. Metz has moved down to 10th now. He was in 7th when he crashed out. So watching the Beast, he goes over, he improves by 3 tenths, but he's going to stay in 8th position. Kickbutt Kiwi, the winner of last race, moved up into 7th. Maybe wrong, but I think that was his first hot lap actually put in. We've had The Rock who's been disqualified. Might have to look into that one and see what happened there. But qualifying is now over. Cars putting in their final laps. Cars are all over the place, getting in front of each other. There might be a little bit of anger between the drivers. We're watching Kickbutt Kiwi, and he's lost it. He's gone into the wall. He's not going to improve from his 1:16.1. We've got a
Now
Roscoe.
that's the corner we're talking about, getting that
Yep,
apex.
that whole sector, but especially there with the apex as well. But Roscoe's in Sector 2. He's slightly behind on his time, so he's got a little bit of work to do in Sector 3 if he wants to improve. Kavuti's gone into pole. No, he was in pole, wasn't he? The Entei has gone into second. That is the one I was looking at. A 1:15.7. He's gone above Chronic Saint. Roscoe is trying to spoil the party for them two. Most drivers have finished now. The last few corners for Roscoe. Can he improve and move up from 4th position? As he crosses the line now. And he has. He's gone into second with a 1:15.6. He's gone a little bit faster than Entei there. Entei's now been pushed in a 3rd. Once again where he finished last race. And that might just be it for all the drivers now.
It is one very, very tricky track this is. It's going to be a very interesting start, especially with that second corner and 3rd, and then maybe 6, 7 and 8. Let's see if they're not behind each other, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, well, hopefully the conditions may be... Actually, hopefully the conditions are the same as last race, where it made it a little bit tricky for the drivers. We've got to test straight away. If it's dry this time, we might actually get a bit of a view on the pure pace of the drivers. But like we mentioned, this track is a hard one on the game. So we've got Kavuti. He's starting on pole in the Alfa Romeo. We've got Roscoe in second, almost 2/10 behind. So Kavuti convincingly there into pole position. Chronic Saint was on top with a few minutes to go. If we have a quick look at the race director, looking at the incidents, we've got a disqualification for the Rock for blocking the pit lane. That could have been a crash, a spin, where he just couldn't get out in time. We're not sure. We might look into that one a little bit later. A lot of invalid lap times, that was expected. A few grid penalties here. Ten Sandals and Iceman, they've got a grid penalty with each other. It looks like they collided. So that's going to be interesting for the stewards to have a look at after the race, I'm sure. Because I don't think there's any way a grid penalty can be reversed at this point in time.
That's just unfortunate on their terms, isn't it? Avoided each other on the track.
It is. Unfortunately, we didn't get any footage of that crash. But I'm sure each driver will have a case. So we're 15 seconds away now. We're just waiting for all the players to advance so we can get on to the second race of the season. Reminder, we are in Spain if you were just joining us.
Nice, beautiful 4.6 kilometer track with tricky corners, tricky apexes, and it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yes, and here we go. We're on the grid now. And this will be a formation lap. So Shimano Kavuti is in pole position. He did not race last week, so this is the first time we are seeing him in the Tier 2, the Race Spec Esports League, Pacific Leagues. So you can see Tent Sandals and Iceman are at the bottom of the grid, so it was a significant grid penalty by the looks of it. They've got a lot of work to do in this race if they want to gain the positions to get some points. Remember, in this league, top 15 will earn points, the winner getting 30. They're the predicted pit stop strategies. It looks like it's going to be a 2-stop either way, starting on the softs, mediums, and the soft, medium, hards. So you'd expect the soft and the double mediums to be the preferred option.
I wonder if one of these drivers is going to actually take that one stop and take that risk.
Going from a soft to a hards. We'll have a look now to see what tyres they're on. So, look, Metz is starting on the hards. Most are on the softs, and a lot of them are on the mediums as well. So we've got a bit of a mix there.
It looks like one. Look like Super Freaks is definitely going to be going hards, mediums, going for that one stop possibly. He reckons he can have that tyre wear that he's looking for.
Oh, and we've had a spin. Kavuti's had a spin on the formation lap. He's the race leader. I don't know if that's going to affect his race at all. Good thing he's ghosting there. You would have a lot of unhappy drivers if we had all this crashing on the formation lap.
That's a bit unfortunate on him. So we got 2 drivers that's on hards, a couple on mediums, and most of them is on mediums, it looks like.
Yes, I remember Sugar Freak's last race, he went for, I believe, the one-stop strategy, where he went a lot further in the race. He almost got right up to the lead at one point, I believe, and then got overtaken at the end, but it worked pretty well for him in the end. He did finish 5th in that race, in the Aston Martin, so all drivers are now at the grid, waiting for the lights. So here we go. 5 red lights are off, and we're underway on the Spanish Grand Prix round 2. It looked to be an okay start for Cavruti. It looked like Chronic, he was weaving a little bit, trying to hold position. Clean so far, and we've had a little bit of contact there. The Alpine of Entei may have lost a couple of positions, but no, he's still holding. We've got Cavruti still leading around the first corner. Roscoe is into 3rd place. Sir LJB is up into 4th. He's gone up 2 positions now. Entei in 2nd. He started 3rd, so he had a good start off the line, obviously. Looking down, we've had Rodham. He's lost 7 places. He is the biggest loser of the start so far.
That was a very clean start. No spins on that second corner, which I was actually hoping for, but, you know, it's good to see that all the drivers stayed on track.
We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I'm not sure what that is. If we find out, we will let you know. Noticing Sir LJB, he's had a good start at the front. He's moved up 2 positions so far. Roscoe, he did start 2nd and he is dropped 1 place. Entei is now 7 tenths behind Cavruti. 8 tenths, he's dropping a fair bit. So Cavruti is now in the lead pretty convincingly at the end of lap 1. He's put in the fastest lap. It is the 33 lap race. But he is dropping. Has something happened to Cavruti? I don't believe so. Maybe it just be a glitch on the game. But Artie Cheng's, there might be a bit of a glitch with the standings at the moment. It looks like Cavruti is still in 1st place. That might reset in a second.
GPSs might be a bit off.
So there is a car in the pits. That is Semi-Pro and Rodham, so they've obviously had a bit of damage at the start of the race. So on board with Cavruti now.
That was a bit weird of what happened just there with the standings.
Yeah, it tends to happen a few times, I've noticed that, but we've got to work with it, I guess. Cavruti is about to retain his 1st place on the actual standings. He is definitely in 1st place on the track. Entei, here's the view behind him. I think he's about 8 tenths behind, and he's 7.5, so I was close. Gusar Roscoe is not far behind him, moving down. So LJB, the top 4 stayed the same from the first lap as we go on to lap 3. G-Force is in 5th. That is where he started the race. Kickbutt Kiwi, the winner of the first race, he's currently sitting in 6th place. And look how close we are at the front here. G-Force giving us a good view of a little battle that could be happening in a few corners' time. Trying to get a little bit of an edge there. Hugging the apex, but it went a little bit wide into the corner. And to turn 4, he's gone on the grass a little bit, so that's going to hinder him. So LJB should get a little bit further away now. He's locked up a little bit there. Look at them, they're all very close together. Cavruti is still in the lead of the race. Are you surprised we haven't seen more spins yet?
I am very surprised. Those apexes are dangerous, especially in that 7 to 8. And even in 10 and 11, that is a bit of a tricky one as well. Actually, I didn't mention that in the beginning. But yeah, that 10 and 11 corner as well. Just for this one right, yeah, if you go too much over that left apex, you're spinning.
So this is the battle we're looking at the moment. This is a battle for 4th place, but technically there's a few cars there. Could be a battle for 2nd. Any mistake will push them right down to the end of the grid. They're all very close to each other at the moment, and it's what we love to see. We're looking at any cars trying to go for the move. And Sir LJB gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's obviously been cutting some corners. And I have a gut feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot of those today. Very easy to cut the corners in the first two, especially. And it looks like that's where he picked that one up. We're watching Roscoe now. He's very close indeed to Entei to take that second place. Entei looking for a second straight podium. So just a 3-second penalty for Sir LJB. There's been 4 cars who made a stop so far. Rodham, Sugar Freak, Semi-Pro and Artie. Looks like they would have all been for damage. There shouldn't really be any other reason why they pit already. Unless they really wore out softs in the qualifying session and for some reason started on those down at the bottom of the grid. Have a look at that track map there. Look in that cluster of cars. Look how close they all are. There are a few falling behind, obviously. Artie Cheng's is right down in last place. Let's see if he can recover. Entei not in DRS of Kavudi. But as we watch here, so LJB is very close to Roscoe still, and Roscoe is very close to Entei. And we've got a 3-second penalty for Kavudi, so that's the race leader and G-Force. So obviously the heat... Oh, and that's Kavudi. He's had a spin. The race leader has spun. Trying to catch him. There he is. He's dropped all the way down to 12th. So Entei now leads the race. So this battle at the front is for the race lead. Entei will be rubbing his hands together if he could right now. Unfortunate mistake by Kavudi. He did get a penalty warning just before that. So obviously he was struggling, but he was actually gaining. Well, not gaining, he was extending his lead. He was over a second ahead. So he was clear of the DRS. And Kavudi's retired from the session now. He's DNF'd. So there we go. We can't have a look. We'll see if we can see from one of the other drivers' perspectives. We don't know where he is. That's where I'm going slow, but that's the race leader. He was on pole position at the start of the race, and he is now out. Iceman gets the safety car is out. So all the cars are coming in now for the pits. The leaders at least. A few are staying out. Kavudi
That's
has...
a bit interesting as well, some of them, just before they did. Well, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, some of them got a drive-through penalty, I see.
Yes, I believe Iceman got his drive-through penalty. The rest of the drivers will be serving their penalties now. So that's not going to help for Iceman at all. Obviously, you've got to react very quickly when that safety car, when the Delta comes out. You've got to stay under that Delta. So a few cars didn't pit here. We've got Chronic Saints in the lead of the race. If we look at the stops, we can see there that most of the cars have made a stop now. The top 6 did not stop. So they may be legitimately in the lead right now, but we'll see how that turns out later in the race. We are 6 laps of 33 in, so we've got a long way to go still. Well, we've got a few penalties here now. So Iceman's got his drive-through. We've got Sir LJB, he's got his 3-second, he may, and G-Force. So they had him before him. They may not have served him in the pit. When they pit, they'll just be added to the race time at the end, I believe.
That's if they don't pit again. If they pit again, then...
Yeah, so let's have a look at what tyres they went on. So a few did go on the hards with what you were saying earlier. It could be a one-stop strategy. And we are migrating host, but that's okay. As long as it's under the safety car, we're not going to be missing too much. Once again, I apologise for this happening, but we can rejoin within seconds. So that's the positive of this. This is the podium again. We had this last. We'll be back in one moment. The return of the safety car.
Gonna be interesting on how he does it. Is he gonna slow straight down, or is he gonna hold up the pack? Is he gonna speed off? He slowed right down.
Can you hear me now, Allezar?
Yes, I can hear you now, Noah.
Oh. Thank you, Gavin, if you were replying to me then, to say you can hear me, and Allezar, thank you. I wasn't sure if my voice was coming through. Apparently I couldn't be heard then. So I was commentating to no one. Could you hear me at all then?
A bit of a technical difference. Yeah, no, I couldn't hear you at all either.
Oh, wow. So I really was talking to myself. I asked you a couple of questions as well. So I thought you were just quietly sitting there, just watching to yourself. So we're still watching the battle of the top three. Grim Reaper had a few looks on the line after the safety car restart, which was 3 laps ago. There was no DRS available back then. Thanks, Gavin, in the comments for helping me out there with the volumes and letting me know. Please let me know in the comments or however you can if you cannot hear me anymore. So we've got Chronic Saints in first, Grim Reaper second, Stone Tower, Black Moon, and then The Rock. So remember, they haven't pit yet. They are 10 laps on the medium tyres, a lot more than anybody else. We have Entei in sixth, so you'd expect him to take the lead again. They'd be on a one-stop, so it'll be interesting to see how the pit strategies actually come out towards the end of the race. Do you think the one-stop is looking like the best option at the moment?
But I reckon, especially I reckon Nets, Roscoe and Kickback. I reckon if they keep their tires to temperature, to wear, I reckon they will reach the end. I reckon just about.
And there's a move for the lead. Grim Reaper's taken the lead there. A beautiful move by Reaper. It looked pretty clean to me. And Stone Tower's now having a look at him. So Chronic Saints is maybe having a little bit of trouble here. Their medium tyres are probably getting to the stage where they might start feeling the wear. Chronic Saints are not quite getting enough traction on that exit. Actually, the exit ended up being pretty good, but the mid-corner was a bit of a struggle. So Grim Reaper is now in the lead at the moment.
It looks like Reaper was just giving him a bit of that push. Because I think maybe Reaper figured out that he was giving him that.
Yeah, that move was coming for a while as the Stone Tower's got DRS on Chronic Saint now. He's going to make a move on the inside. It's clean, it's very clean, it's very nice indeed. He's held the inside line, but Chronic Saints has fought back and he beautiful move down the right side there to take it back the next corner. So it looks like he was all lost out then, but he was able to get it back very nicely indeed. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2 now. So a few cars going for a move at the back end, Sector 3. Grim Reaper has put in the fastest lap of the race. He is in the lead, he's 1.2 seconds ahead, so he has a chance now to extend his lead with no car in DRS range behind him. Last week's race winner Kickbutt Kiwi is currently in 8th place. He's on the hard tyres. If he can make the one-stop stick, he might be in line for a podium or a race win again. That battle last week.
To that tyre wear though.
It does. And Chronic Saints has had something happen to him here. He's dropped down into 5th, now into 6th. He's lost another spot. As the Alpine of Entei gets past. So he's having a lot of troubles here. Now the top 3 has now changed to Grim, the Stone Tower and Black Moon. So you can see there Grim's got a bit of a lead at the front. 1.8 seconds as it stands. Looks like he's taking advantage of not having no one in his direct slipstream or DRS range.
He's just cruising along, having a day of picnic. Reminds me of that movie, the NASCAR movie with, what's his name? Where he's just like got the Italian guy in the NASCAR just cruising along with his cup of tea.
Look at the Stone Tower's gone into the pits, 30 on those tyres. So that will raise the question of whether it's enough for all the other cars here as well. It's now a 2.1 second lead at the front. Now watching the Rock here in the Red Bull. Getting chased down by Entei. He's only 2.5 tenths behind. And he's gone for a move here, the Alpine. Going past Entei, not quite. He's not able to hold it. Drop back a little bit now, opening the door for Roscoe to maybe make a move. So we hit the DRS zone here. Roscoe not quite close enough. Entei as well. The Rock is actually getting close to Black Moon, looking to take second place. Black Moon is not catching Grim Reaper in the slightest. He's losing a lot of time each lap now. It's looking like almost a second, 5 tenths of a second per lap at the moment. So big chance of Grim Reaper if he can make a strategy stick.
That is as well. His kickback is. He was dropping off quite a bit. He was at 1 second 2 before as well, and now he's catching back up somehow.
Yeah, Kickback Kiwi's put in the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he was down by 1 second, 1.2 seconds.
So look at the Rock. Look how close he is to Black Moon now. If he can get in the slipstream, Oh, he's gone a little bit wide here. He's going to lose a little bit of time. If he just sticks right behind him, waits for the right opportunity, might be able to make a move in the next few corners. But we do have a DRS zone coming up mid-lap on that back straight, which is a great overtaking opportunity. The rest of the track, not so much. So VSR Roscoe is getting very close to Entei as well. So we might have a few battles here to look at as we hit the DRS zone. So as we see, he's not quite close enough there. Entei still holding 4th position out of Roscoe. Kickbutt Kiwi not far behind that. Grim Reaper's now 2.8 seconds ahead in the lead. We've got a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment. A lot of Constructors' Championship points to be had in this race to take an early advantage. I believe the Alpines are ahead at the moment. They did get both cars on the podium in Silverstone. Iceman has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He also has a drive-through penalty to serve as well, so that's not going to help his case. We've got the 2 DNFs so far, Semi-Pro and Kavudi.
But isn't the drive-through penalty meant to be served within 3 laps?
Yes, maybe it has been served, you're right. But that's probably why he's down in 17th position. So the Rock is still closing in on Black Moon. Trying to spoil the party for the Ferraris. Trying to split them. Sugar Freaks puts in the fastest lap on the mediums. So 1:18.445. So at the moment he is getting the extra championship point. We are now approaching the halfway mark of the race, with Grim Reaper in the lead, 2.8 seconds ahead, yet to pit. Remember, the top 3 are yet to pit in this race.
He's pulling away I reckon 2/10 every lap. He's pulling away, he isn't backing off.
Yeah, I'd say it has a lot to do with the battle for second place. They're all getting very close to each other, but they have all got DRS as well. So it comes down to the ERS, and looks like we may have a move there. Not quite. Entei's into 3rd place. Looks like he's going to make a move on the Rock. He's gone down the inside. Is there contact? Not quite, but they're very close to each other. Entei holds the inside line. Rock stays on the outside. They're going to stay side by side into turn 5. The Rock goes through on the inside. He's got a car length ahead now. We'll have to keep an eye on that in the DRS zone, because he's very close indeed. 2/10 behind now. Great defending by the Rock. So Black Moon is now in the lead of the race because Grim Reaper pit. So only 2 cars remain now. This is the battle for first, technically. I think the front 2 cars, Black Moon and the Rock, are struggling for grip a little bit compared to the other drivers on the hards.
What happened to Black Moon then?
I think he's just struggling on the tyres. He's electing to stay out. The Rock has pit, so Entei will move up into 2nd. He was first before the round of pit stops under the safety car. But Black Moon has been on those tyres for 17 laps now.
That's quite interesting. Do you reckon the hards is going to last at the end?
They'll have to look after him, won't they?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look like they're looking after it the way they're fighting.
Well, they want to keep up with each other. That's the thing. No driver wants to give in. No driver wants to lose out on this field, because they are all very close to each other at the moment. First through to 6th, or within a couple of seconds of each other.
I guess we'll just find out who's better at keeping their tires.
So we're going
what would you do in this situation?
Well, if you're on the hard tyres, you've obviously got to preserve them. I mean, there's 15 laps in the race. They've done 11 laps on them now, so they're pushing the hard tyres out to 26 laps. So it's a lot, but it is doable. It's definitely doable. They're going to be very high tyre wear towards the end of the race. It's going to take a lot of skill to keep that car on the track. This is the great view from G-Force here of the pack in front. He got very, very close to Kickbutt Kiwi there. He was able to preserve his front wing. He's now falling a little bit far behind from Kickbutt Kiwi. So we watch Entei. He's got DRS. Remember, Black Moon doesn't. It looks like he might just make a move here. Down into turn 1. He's got it through pretty clearly. A beautiful move there. He's taken back the lead. Remember the lead he had before the round of pit stops behind the safety car. So if Black Moon is going to hold up the rest of the pack, Entei's got a chance to actually extend his lead. And Roscoe's taken back. No, they're side by side. 3-second time penalty for 10 sandals. And Roscoe's gone on the inside. And it looks like the McLaren, a kick by Kiwi, is going to go on the inside as well. He's made that stick. There might have been a little bit of contact. But he's got through nevertheless. Black Moon may just be struggling a little bit.
I think it's by time Black Moon has a bit of a pit.
About time for a pit stop, I say. He will be dropping down. He'll probably go down to 15th after the pit stop. So he may not even be involved in this race for the lead again. But you never know. Anything can happen. And look at G-Force. Nice move. That's not really a corner you'd see many overtakes. But he's got through there nicely. Obviously a big struggle from Black Moon here. So we watch him. I'm sure he'll go through into the pits. So the pack is now a battle for first, and there he goes. 3-second time penalty for G-Force though. He's obviously gone wide on that final corner. So now watching Entei in the lead. Roscoe's chasing him. He's got DRS. Entei will struggle without the DRS. He's going to have a look, but not quite be close enough to make the move. So watching Black Moon drop on the left there. I said he might go down to 15th behind the Rock. The Rock, presuming the Rock had a decent lap, because we know that Black Moon did not. And he's gone ahead. He's in 13th. Looks like he's ahead of the Rock, so he stayed ahead there. Entei 4/10 in the lead. We can see here, this is the view of VSR Roscoe chasing down Entei for the race lead. At this rate, it looks like we might see another close finish like we did last week. And look who we've got in third place. Kickbutt Kiwi. The one who was actually able to hold position.
Kickbutt Kiwi's strategies is it's strange, but it works out well for him.
How would you say it's strange?
Because didn't he start? What did he start on? He started on hards, didn't he?
He was on the mediums in this one, I believe. No, I believe he was on the softs. I think he was one of the drivers on the softs or the mediums. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
We've got a move here.
Does totally different strategies to everyone.
G-Force has gone in the pit, so there wasn't a move, but Entei lost the lead. I missed that one, but Roscoe's gone into the lead of the race. Looks like he's done it very nicely indeed. Entei's got a job to do if he wants to take that position. Roscoe is having a cracker of a race. So Roscoe, remember, he started in second. He's moved up into first. Entei started in third. Kickbutt Kiwi, he's moved up 5 places. Banana Cake up 6th. Banana Cake is currently the highest mover of the grid so far. Nice to drop, barring the DNF's G-Force server. But I believe he did just pit, so that may not be a legitimate position right now. So the gap's starting to get a little bigger between all these drivers now. The yellow flag in Sector 1. Got a Grim Reaper fan in the comments there. Grim Reaper is currently sitting in 9th place.
I think Grim Reaper has a lot of comments on there. He's got a lot, you know, and I reckon he's the crowd favourite.
Yes, I believe Grim Reaper did struggle last race. Having a look now, was it a DNF for him? From memory? It was a DNF for him. He crashed very early on in the race. He was the first driver to crash, so we didn't get to see his full potential there clearly. Not many battles happening on the field at the moment. This is the closest one. Entei chasing down Roscoe for first place. He's now 9/10 behind. He's just able to stay in the DRS range. No one else is in DRS range of each other at the moment. Well, actually they would be, according to the stats on the left there. We're all out of a second, but they do look pretty close. Look how close
to the top
Entei is
battle.
now. Very close in that battle for first. He's going to have a shot with DRS here to retake the lead on the final corner. He's gone back out to 9/10. He was 2/10. So as we see here, he's not going to be close enough to make the move on this corner.
I think he has that top end speed, but he doesn't have that corner downforce, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Grim Reaper's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that will be added to his race time at the end or within a pit stop if he does pit. This is still the closest battle on field at the moment. Just to go through the leaders at the moment, we've got VSR Roscoe in first place, looking for his maiden win of the season. Entei in second, 8/10 behind, 9/10 now, followed by Kickbutt Kiwi. He may just have a surprise for us at the end of the race. We'll see. He was leading last time. Defended very nicely indeed. Went down to the final few corners. Banana Cake Pie in fourth place. He's gone up 6 positions, so he's done very well indeed so far. The Beast in fifth. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Doesn't look like to be anything significant. No drivers are dropping down the order at the moment. G4 Server, he's now getting close to Chronic Saints for the 10th position. You'd think G4 Server could make the move here on the straight. He's dropped 6 places in this race. He was one of the recent ones to pit though. Metz has gone into the pits, so as we're watching G-Force here, doesn't look like he's quite going to be close enough, or I could be wrong here. But if RS has gone down, he's taken the inside line, and he's done it easily. Doesn't even give Chronic Saints a chance, so he's moved up now into 9th
I
place.
reckon Chronic Saints is keeping his ERS for that next battle, I reckon. I think
potentially, yes.
He was harvesting. He was harvesting when he was hit and overtaken there. Pretty sure.
Black Moon now, he was struggling before we saw him on the medium tyres. He took him 18 to 19 laps long. He was in first place at that time and then dropped a few before pitting. He's now just behind Metz. He's in a points position at the moment. We're dropping. Chronic Saints is trying to fight back on G-Force. Let's see if your theory was right. Is he... He's not looking for a move at the moment. He wasn't quite close enough. It's another battle here. He does get DRS. He's going to be pretty far behind at the moment. He's 7/10 behind Kickbutt Kiwi. Nowhere near close enough at this point in time. Grim Reaper, remember, he has a 3-second time penalty he just picked up a couple of laps ago. He's fighting to move up the grid. Currently in 8th place, chasing down Sir LJB.
Must give it to Grim Reaper actually. I'm looking at his times, and he's catching real quick.
Grim Reaper, that was?
Yep.
Well, hopefully it's not because he was cutting corners, because he just got a warning before for multiple. He just got a penalty for multiple warnings, so hopefully that is he's on track and not cutting too many corners. We'll have a quick look at the penalties. See what everyone's holding at the moment. G-Force has got a 6, Grim with a 3, so it wasn't too significant. So LJB with a 3 as well. Tencent was an Iceman too, and Metz just picked one up. Banana Cake still chasing down Kickbutt Kiwi for the position of third place. Stone Tower just got a 3-second time penalty, so as we got the screen up, a lot of penalties are now coming through. You think around this time, you'd expect that anyway, because they've been picking up their warnings at the start of the race and taking it a little bit easier maybe towards the end. And look how close Banana Cake got then. He wasn't able to get past. He's right on his tail though. Grim Reaper is side by side with Sir LJB. He's gone through on the inside of turn 2. Beautiful move there. Looked like for a few laps now he was going to get that. They broke a 3-second time penalty, so they will be staying with each other. Sir LJB is going to look for a move again. He's right on his tail, not quite close enough there. He's going to hold back for now, you'd say, unless Grim Reaper makes a mistake and opens the door to regain 7th place. Chronic Saints catching G-Force. G-Force got past him a couple of laps ago. But we're focusing on this battle at the moment. So LJB right behind Grim Reaper. In DRS, not quite as long as the opening straight, so he's not quite going to be able to make the move. He's gone a little bit wide there, so he was able to save it. He lost a bit of time, but he was able to save it. Banana Cake ever so steady in that spot. The Stone Tail's retired, he's DNF'd. Something's happened there. So if you can see him, it was on the corner we've been talking about all day. He is out of the race. Finished 15th last race, I believe, and he will now sit in 18th position. We've got to move. No, we've got a pit stop. Once again, Chronic Saints goes into the pits. Look how close Grim Reaper is to Rodham. Grim Reaper is flying, as you mentioned before. And Banana Cake on Kickbutt Kiwi too. This is the battle for third, so we've got to focus on this one. This is for a podium place. 6 laps to go, so we're really heating up now. Do you think they're going to be taking many risks at this point in time, or are they going to wait till the last few laps? Are you there, Allezar?
Yes.
Do you think it's worth taking risks at this point in time with 6 laps remaining, or you're more likely to wait till the end?
With a straight like that, I think it's best to wait. Harvest the ERS, wait until you get that point, stay on the back of them.
But hovering the ERS, is it a viable strategy when the car in front could be doing the exact same thing? Whereas you're just going to be using each other to stay ahead, but at the same time, Kickbutt Kiwi here doesn't have DRS. As we go down to LJB on the fight with Grim Reaper, who's chasing Rodham. So very close for a couple of drivers here. Let's see. That's Grim Reaper going through on Rodham, so LJB gets stuck behind Rodham there, so Grim Reaper's going to go ahead here. He's gone up into 6th place with a 3-second time penalty, but he's fighting back well. And so LJB's side by side with Rodham now. He's able to hold that inside line into turn 4. And he's going to come out in front. He comes out just in front. There we go. He's still looking, Rodham. He's looking for that move. He's not quite there yet. May have a chance here on the back straight. We'll have DRS. Got a yellow flag. Banana Cake's gone off. Kickbutt Kiwi's gone past. The Beast has gone past as well. Kickbutt Kiwi, the winner of the last race, has gone off and he's dropped down into 5th. The Beast goes through. Banana Cake goes through into the podium spot. A Williams is on the podium right now with an Alpine and the race leader in the Mercedes. Sugar Feast gets a 3-second time penalty as well. We're going to keep these time penalties up for the last few laps just to confirm of who's going to be in which position. Freestyle Roscoe 2.8 seconds ahead now, so you think it'd take a mistake for him to... It's he's to lose. We've got a nice little midfield battle here though. All pretty close to each other. Chronic Saints 3-second time penalty now. The penalties are really coming in.
Those penalties is definitely going to come in at the end of the race there.
Not quite. He's very close. He's going to go in turn 5 though. On the inside there's a little bit of contact, but nothing too major. He's able to hold the position well. Held his line very well in the end. He's moved up to 8th place. G-Force in the Haas. He's got a 6-second time penalty though, so Rodham probably wouldn't be stressing that one too much. He's just got to stick with him to regain that position. So Sir LJB back ahead of Rodham, and G-Force who's ahead of Rodham as well now. He's now back to chasing down the Grim Reaper. He did get very close before. It's just about a second behind him now. He's probably not going to get DRS at this stage. A little bit of a train of DRS here. Not much opportunity for the drivers on lap 30. There's 3 laps to go after this one. Difference at the top is pretty significant. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then 5 seconds. So it looks like that top 5 could be almost set in stone at the moment. It's going to take a mistake for any other drivers, or a miracle for any other drivers, to get through to that DRS range to actually make a move towards the last few laps of the race. This is the closest battle we've got at the moment. Fighting for 6th place. There's 3 cars in it at the moment, but there are penalties involved. G-Force Serve, even if he does get past, he's got a bit of a ground to make up to get into those places.
It looks like if it stays like this, G-Force is going to be going down to 10th place, only 1 point out of that. Unless they can overtake and get into 6th place in the last 3 laps. Hopefully he can retain it, but I don't think it would be possible with that 6th place penalty.
Yeah, so we got Metz here now. He's got a penalty as well, so even if he does get past Rodham here, he's probably not going to hold his 9th place. He's not got any danger of falling behind Blackmoon, but that's a nice move. He's got past pretty easily. Let's see if he can hold it into the corner. He's got heaps of space. All he's got to do is go through normally, and Rodham's lost another position there. So he's starting to struggle a bit towards the end of this race. So we have a quick look at the stops. They're the strategy differences. So it looks like you were right at the start there. The 1 stop was definitely an option for this race, and looking like the right option, because they did stop under the safety car.
If you know how to as a driver to keep that tire wear down as much as possible and have that right setup that is perfect for those tires, I reckon you'll be able to do 1 stop. And it just shows you there that these guys in this 1 stop, maybe the safety car was a bit of a help as well.
Yeah, but look here. Sorry to interrupt. Kick Butt Kiwi's got a 3-second time penalty now. So his gap is actually 3 seconds now because Grim Reaper's got a penalty. Banana Cake slowly catching in. Takes 1.6. He was at 2 seconds a lap ago. We're on the second last lap of the race now, so he's got a lot of going to pick up. G-Force Servers picked up a 3-second time penalty. So he's now got 9 seconds. So where's that going to put him? Straight down to 10th. He did just get past Sir LJB. Not going to make a difference at this point in time, though.
I think LJB is just like, nah, it's not worth risk.
Oh, Banana Cake's gone off. He may have just given up his podium spot. The Beast has gone past in the 3rd place. The Alpha Tower is now, and we've migrated on the second last lap of the race. Absolutely brilliant. But we did see the Beast go up into 3rd. Hopefully we can be back for the end of the race and watch him go over the line. Be back in 1 moment.
Yes. No, I cannot hear you. No, we cannot hear you. Well, yep, so... Well... But we have come to the finish line with Roscoe winning that one for you, and that tape for Banana Cakes as well. taking that third position. Kiwi in 5th, Grim Reaper in 6th.
Can you hear me now by any chance?
Yep, can hear you now.
There we go. Thanks again, Gavin. Spain without the S for the broadcast, but it's a Spain win for Roscoe. Grim Reaper gets driver of the day. There we go for all the Grim Reaper fans we've had in the comment section.
He definitely does deserve that.
A great win by the Mercedes driver there. We've got a Mercedes, an Alpine, back-to-back podiums there, so congratulations. And then a Williams, a banana cake pie. Now that's going to mix up the standings heading into next week. Next week we got Bahrain, so a different track again. Look at those penalties though. We got Roscoe taking out the win in Spain. Entei 4 has picked up his 2nd straight podium. He's got 2nd place. Banana Cake in 3rd. The Beast will take 4th. Kickbutt Kiwi, the race winner in Silverstone, has gone into 5th. I did see a comment that he might have run out of fuel at the end, so that could have contributed, but he was looking like he was going to be in 5th anyway. The Beast did well to go up to 4th. Banana Cake started in 10th and got up to 3rd. So this was the one-stop strategy that did bring these drivers up the field. The best two-stopper was Metz. He finished in 8th place and he got the fastest lap of the race. So good job to him. He will get that extra point. Heading down, we did have a couple of DNFs here. Kavudi, fortunately last place, and he started on pole position. So bad luck to him. I know he was happy to get that pole. Thank you to everybody for watching. This was Spain, and it was race 2 of the Race Spec Esports Tier 2 Pacific Series. I apologize again for the disconnecting, the migrating host of the server. I'll try to look into whether that was a problem on my end or something to do with the game after the update. But thanks for tuning in. Bahrain next week, same time, same place. We'll see you then.